that was my lesson. Stop. You do not. You can't do good tattoos. You cannot produce art if you're tired, if you're stressed, and when you're tired and stressed, the efficiency is missing, and you feel like you're working, but you don't do a lot.
Welcome back, humans. On this week's episode, I chat with Anna, who invites us into the world of tattooing. Anna is a tattoo artist who was inspired many years ago when she was watching Miami Ink. Nowadays, she is a tattoo artist, and she talks about creativity, the experience of tattooing, plus discusses some of her previous clients she's had as well, and the relationship she likes to build with clients. This is just a casual conversation where we also talk about other things in life, such as success. What does success mean? Social media and the impact it has on us today. Plus just some of her own ideas about life and how to live a good life. Thank you guys so much for listening so far. We're almost 20 episodes in, and I've got something extra special coming up for episode 20. And like I always ask you, I know it's probably quite repetitive, but if you are enjoying this podcast, please jump over to iTunes and leave a rating and review. The reason is it helps other people to discover this show as well, and it just helps this show these stories to spread even further. And to help more people to listen to these stories. This might sound a bit different to normal because I'm recording this from my bedroom on my phone, but the rest of the podcast is just like normal. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for me. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll speak to you next week.
Yeah.
So we're recording. How do you feel?
Terrible.
Why do you feel terrible?
It's like I'm being watched.
You are. You've been listened to by lots of people.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so Anna.
Yeah,
Anna.
Tom. Yeah.
Who are you?
I'm a tattoo artist. I try to be one, actually.
Okay, that's a very quick response. Mostly people are like, I'm not sure. It's a very difficult question. Who am I? But you're just like,
no,
I'm a tattoo artist.
It defines me as a person.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me more about that then. How did this start?
In the opposite of other tattoo artists that are usually artists because a friend recommended them to tattoo and stuff like that. I wanted this so badly since I first watched LA Ink. Actually, I don't know if it's Miami Ink or LA Ink. I was in love for 1 month with Amy James.
Oh yeah.
That's right. And I wanted to tattoo since then, and then I met a colleague on my college that was later my boyfriend, and he taught me to do some line work and stuff like that. And later I was a scratcher actually. I was doing tattoos at home, and then I decided I want to be professional.
Yeah. Why? What is it about tattoo that you like?
It's the whole package actually. It's being how is it called? Physiotherapist.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to study
psychology.
Yeah, thank you. And you can express yourself. You can get to know people. You put something on their body until the rest of their lives.
That's true. You're having a permanent impact on people's lives. Right?
Yeah. It's actually for me, it's a huge responsibility.
Sure.
So I don't know. I always had a struggle with being, knowing what I want to be, because in college and all of my friends knew exactly what they want to be, and I was kind of searching for myself. I did a lot of jobs, from marketing to dance teacher, to organizer or to organization of events and stuff like that, to nightclubs.
Yeah.
And makeup. I did makeup also for the fashion industry, and it was a hard thing to decide what I want to be. And tattooing just sucked me in. I don't know how to say it, but it's an amazing thing, and I each time I put a tattoo machine into my hands, when I hold it, it's like the first time I was tattooing. It's a love.
That's really cool. So, what was behind this, this search? So you're searching for kind of what to do in your life. You're searching, what was behind that? Do you know where that came from, this not knowing what you wanted to do?
I think it's the pressure. everybody around me was giving me a feeling I was not good enough.
Yeah.
I was complex. I was not happy with my look, with the things I did. I always felt like I'm not giving it enough. I was not the best for it. What is the question again?
Where this came from, this kind of desire, or like, you know, what did it feel like when you're looking for this, like?
It's terrible.
Purpose?
It's the pressure. It's when I lose it up. When I was loosened up, I don't know.
When you loosened up?
Yeah, that's it. It just came by itself. When
Yeah.
people are asking me how you know why you want to be, you don't. It's about the experience in the life. It's not about what you decide to be, because everything is changing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I will be doing in the next 10 years. Maybe I go into another space or another dimension, but I always try to listen to myself, because
Yeah.
a lot of people don't listen to themselves.
What does that look like for you then? When you're listening to yourself, like, what does that actually mean for you?
It's hard. It's the hardest thing you can do, because you get to know yourself, you get to know all of your mistakes, and you don't like them because you search for a better person. And when you accept your dark side, that's how you can handle it, so the dark side doesn't handle you.
And what do you do? How do you get to know yourself? Do you literally just like look in the mirror and be like, "Hey Anna," like?
No, I'm actually knowing myself through other people.
Yeah.
It's an amazing thing, yeah, because I want to know their experience in life, and I can connect my experiences with them, with their look of life, with their mentality. I think if I would sit in a room, that's okay. You can smoke a joint and be all philosophical about everything, but I get to know myself mostly through traveling or to knowing people.
That's interesting. 'Cause, I mean, this is kind of this project for me. It's like, it literally is just, you know, I'm learning so much about other people, which is teaching me so much about myself. Because it helps kind of give perspective to my own life, to my own thoughts, right?
But you need to know how to listen to people, and a lot of people don't know that.
Exactly. So, I mean, tell me, bring that to your life then. Like, how is this, what impact has this had then? This, like, listening, this kind of trying to get to know people, this, you mentioned travel just now too. Like, what have you learned about yourself over the last 5-10 years, however long you want to look back?
You mean currently, or the whole package?
Just think about over the last 10 years, what's something you've kind of discovered in this moment of self-reflection or thought?
I discovered that I'm good with how I am, and I don't have to be a people other want me to be. I discovered that I need to communicate more with people, because a lot of time people think of you as a reflection of themselves, and you get so if you're not a strong person, or if you listen to them too much, you're actually a mirror of them, and you pick a thing from each person, and at the end you are a mix of all of other people's opinions. And I've learned that it's a good thing, but you need to listen to yourself at the end. So to be calm, that everything is going to be okay, that everything is fine like it is. Of course, not it's fine if you lay down in the bed and feel sorry for yourself, but it's good to be sad sometimes. It's good to not have a wish to work all day. It's good if you don't like to speak to people, and if you say that into their face, because a lot of people don't know, especially now with all of the social networks, they don't know how to communicate. And the good thing is, if you know how to say no, this is my border, this is my...
Yeah.
And you feel better when you do that.
If you say no to people, you feel better.
And not no, but if you know when to say no.
Yeah, it's true. Because, I mean, it's almost like having respect for yourself, right? Because I at least I'm somebody who often tries to bend over backwards to help other people out, right? So I will rarely say no if there's even slight chance that I can do it. But sometimes you need to respect yourself.
Me too, yeah, I know exactly how it is. And I would go over myself over and over and over just to help other people, and I was losing myself like that. Because I have a lot of empathy, and I feel people, I feel how they feel, and it's not always a good thing for them, because they often feel like I reach into their intimacy.
Yeah?
Yeah, and that's a good thing for them and a bad thing, because they see themselves and they don't usually like it, and some of them are actually feeling good because someone understands them. People are feeling not understood nowadays. They're feeling
so true.
Yeah.
This is so true. But you've mentioned empathy to me tonight, even before we started recording. You've mentioned empathy.
Yeah, I think I'm a witch.
You're a witch.
It's probably because I'm a Bulgarian.
You're a witch. Okay. Like, where does this empathy come from? Why are you so empathetic? Or like, what? How did that develop?
I think because I was never too good. I was never good enough, and I've watched people how they react. I've read books about manipulation. How should I be so they would feel comfortable? I didn't understand why are not people feeling relaxed around my company, and I'm learning that my whole life.
Yeah.
I said about the communication before. That's the thing. You need to communicate. You need to say, nah, I did this because I felt like I was feeling like this. I was feeling like that, and people usually don't do that. So I think it comes from not being good enough. So first I was in a dance group and I was feeling like nobody likes me because I was all energetic and positive, and I could not understand why people just don't like me. I didn't wish no harm to nobody, and then I found out that they don't like themselves.
Yeah. Which is often the case, right?
Yeah.
Again, we mentioned jealousy earlier, and jealousy, I mean, define jealousy for me. What do you consider to be jealousy?
I think it comes from complexes. It comes from not being good enough, and instead of trying your best to be your best, it's easier to put a guilt on other people and to say it's because of them, not because of me. And people don't look into themselves. They don't search for the truth. They don't search for the greater good. It's the easiest thing to say, yeah, it's easy for him, but I don't have parents like this. I don't have money. Actually, yesterday one guy contacted me on the Instagram and has said, "You're so lucky to do what you love. It's all about the luck." And I responded, "It's no, 10% it's about the luck and 9% it's hard work. It's about consistency. It's how much you try, because people only see the good things and they don't see the bad things, and that's also because of the social network. Because people just post all of the good things, and you don't feel good enough. You feel like, yeah, I need to be like that, and then you meet a person like this in person, and they're like no energy, no life experience. I call them Facebook ninjas.
Facebook ninjas. Yeah. Nice. Okay, let's come back to the empathy thing for a second, because I think I felt very similar. In fact, I gave a speech on Friday night, and part of the speech was about this. It was like, during my childhood, I didn't feel like I fit in. In fact, I was the outsider. I was the kid who was, just watching everybody. I was at the group. Sure, I was at the parties, just like watching people, like, how do I act like other humans? And I think this really, I would say maybe this project today is like an extension of that. Really, it's like me observing people about how they're living. Mm-hmm. So it's made me very empathetic too. It made me trying to understand other people a lot more. So I completely relate to this too. Luck. Tell me about luck. So are you lucky? Because you kind of found this tattoo industry, which now, it's a job you kind of love, right, I guess?
It is.
Most of the time.
It's a hard job I love.
Yeah?
If I wouldn't love it so much, I think I would quit. It's because I'm a strong person. I love to do it, but it's hard industry for a woman.
Yeah?
It's a hard industry because you're around people all the time, and you get impressions, and you want to take everything from the people to do a design for them, to do a custom design that it's going to be on them. That a lot of time I feel anxiety. I feel I don't want to communicate with people. I have some weeks that I tattoo people that are not feeling good. They want to be like the rest of the world. They want to be like some role models, and they don't find themselves. And sometimes it's really depressing for me. But I'm lucky because I've opened myself. I think everyone is lucky. Leave the ex-life, stuff like that. We'll talk about that next time. But it's how you open yourself to the world, and if you open yourself, the universe is just throwing things to you. Like some people are trying so much, opening the wrong door, they don't see the whole
Hallway.
yeah, the whole hallway of open doors.
And when did you learn this for yourself? Was there a moment, or is there a time of your life that you learned this lesson, that you build your own luck, that you have to kind of do it for yourself and like choose to live this lucky, hard-working life? Was there a moment that this happened?
Actually, it's a bit different. It's a process. It's not a moment. We never had a lot of money. I need to do everything by myself, and that's a good thing because I became strong like it. I built the connections. And actually, it wasn't a moment, it was a decision to go work into one studio. They actually invited me in, and it was a really hard experience because the guy that invited me as a tattoo artist was later wanted to be my boss, and he wanted me to be his apprentice. And actually, he was doing the best he could. I learned that too, but. It was you learn things from the hard times, and it was so hard for me because either I was not open enough, or didn't have a lot of experience to go with the flow, and I was so tired. I worked 18 hours a day. I did jobs as every apprentice do, and that was the only thing he knew how to do, and I was angry with him because I was a girl in his studio. You have an amazing girl that does amazing tattoos, and he was feeling that I need to go through some shit because he didn't knew me, and he thought I didn't go through some hard shit yet. And it was actually a process when I decided, no, this is my life. I will do what I want, and I will not take any bullshit from anyone. And
See, it felt like obviously you were an amazing tattoo artist, and you weren't being respected as that. You were almost being used for, doing the shit stuff just for the sake of making it shit for you, just for the sake of making it hard for you.
Yeah.
I mean, what else is difficult? You mentioned tattooing to be like a very difficult kind of career, let's say. Like, what else is difficult?
It is if you're a woman, because a lot of people are looking to you sexually. It's a lot of women tattoo artists put their naked photos or their sexy photos on the Instagram, and they got clients like this.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know why, but I think I have some male watching over me because I'm a part of my personality is like a goofy male that's walking around and doing funny things, and I always wanted to be part of the man crew. I never wanted to be looked as a woman or having success by being a woman. I wanted the people to look at my art and say, okay, I like that. I wanted to go there.
Really? Do you know what's behind that? What is there? What part of you is like, desperately trying to, I guess, prove yourself in the man's world too, right? Do you know where that comes from?
I don't know. I think those are my ambitions. I don't know to whom am I proving.
Proving, yeah.
Proving, yeah. But I always wanted to be respected. I think that's the part I didn't quite go over it. But if I was into strictly business, I would move to Switzerland probably, because their prices are big. There, that is like industry doing 11 tattoos a day, not talking to people, and you get rich. But for me, it's not being rich. It's not about the money. It's not about the finances. It's about how much people you make happy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, and I don't want to be looked as a woman. I wanted to be neither as an artist, because an artist has usually a negative way to it. Like, you're an artist, you don't understand. No, the artist, the real one artist, should understand. And I don't think as myself as a crazy person, but as a normal, rational person that just does art. And what was the question again? I forgot, because I was so philosophical.
Fuck questions. You can just take it wherever you want.
Yeah, it's passion. It's passion because I love my job and I don't want it to be business. Of course, I need to make money. If I want to travel, if I want to experience and have more experiences, if I want to buy tattoo equipment, to do marketing and stuff like that, I'm not into material stuff. I'm actually more into experiences. And that was the thing. I wanted to be respected by how much effort I put in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because of my crazy personality and because of my goofy character, people usually don't get me on the first impression. I hear a lot of times that I look like arrogant, tall person that thinks she's better, and then when the people get to know me, they're like, yeah, you're like a big elephant, you're so cute, you would never hurt a person. Yeah, I don't know. I always wanted to be better.
Where did that come from? Where was this desire to get better from?
I think also from not being good enough.
Yeah.
From I spoke to one. I travel a lot with Prevozi.org. That's actually one site to manage traveling.
Ride sharing.
Yeah. And I meet a lot of people when I go there. A lot of creative people, people with really cool experiences. And I met one woman, physiotherapist, and she said, that's totally egoistic if you want to help everyone. And I said, no, that isn't egoistic. And she said, yeah, it is, because you're not strong enough to handle other people's feelings and you want them to feel better because you want you to feel better. Don't help people if they don't want your help.
Mm-hmm.
So that was also one experience.
One lesson.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's true, right? Like, we're often...
For me, it's not that egoistic because I feel I can help people. I've met also one guy that turned himself into karma something because he could not go along with his boyfriend. Mm-hmm. And he started to study everything, relationship and stuff like that. And he told me, Anna, you could really teach people. You're here to teach people. You're not... Each person has their own purpose in the world. And he said to me, you're here to teach people how to be themselves. So I think that's it, yeah.
Definitely. But eventually you can only teach people who want to be taught, right?
Of course, of course.
Do you think you do this through your tattoos? Because you mentioned earlier you kind of build up a connection with people. You kind of, you speak to lots of people. Like, tell me about that process. When you're tattooing people, what kind of connection do you kind of build?
I try to build a trust relationship because I feel, for me, the whole process of tattooing should be relaxing, should be like a secret garden experience when you come to the therapy and you put down every burden you have, every problems that are in your head, and I want them to relax totally, and that's why I usually drink a coffee before tattooing. I call them, hey, can you come by my studio? I want to meet you. I want to get to know you. And it's not about helping them. It's only about relaxing them. Mm-hmm. And for me, the person that tattoos you, you need to have a connection with him because it's an art. It's a thing that will leave something on your body until the rest of your life. And if you don't feel comfortable or if you don't feel relaxed or positive, you'll carry that negative energy until the rest of your life, mm-hmm. and it's not a good experience.
This is why you want to build this connection with people.
Of course, and I love people. I want to get to know them, and I meet a lot of people like that. And at the beginning, I just wanted to put flowers on everybody because I was like, flowers are so amazing and animals are so amazing, but later you find out not everybody are for flowers, and...
Don't put a flower with me. Like, okay, just for the listeners, Anna's going to tattoo me in like a week's time, just over a week's time.
I think it is.
Something like that anyway. 2 weeks, I think, actually. But don't put flowers with me.
I won't.
Maybe just a random flower or something.
No, it's the experience, and I love... the one thing also I love about tattooing is you can never be the best at it. You can learn all of your lifetime. When I do one style, then when I think it's the best, I can move to other style, and I can pick up the experiences from people, and then I do. I will try to visualize it. I do a small boxes, and I put each of them experience into a box. So when the people comes to me into the studio, I can I can check out the boxes which he fits in. Of course, there's not always a fitting, but it's easier. So one girl came to me into the studio. She was like badass blonde, mature woman.
Mm-hmm.
And first thing I thought when she came into my studio was, wow, guns would look amazing on her. And I never think of that. And she was talking about she wanted some lace design, blah, blah, blah. And I said, what do you really want? And she said, I want the guns. And I was like, wow, yeah. And the funny other thing is one amazing open-minded lawyer came into my studio. She wanted some geometrical stuff on her ankles. And she had an amazing green eyes with all of the shapes of green, and I was like, "Are you serious? You want it?" And she said, "No, my friend said it's not a good idea, but I want the Mediterranean flowers on my back because they contain all of the green parts." And later we did a tattoo, and it was amazing. And each time I meet her in Ljubljana or we drink a beer, I can see her tattoo through her eyes glowing out. It's amazing.
It sounds like you've got some kind of almost a sense of like what the person, if they've got a mask on almost, you know, like this lawyer came in with a mask on. I want this like I don't know, what was it, like hexagon? I don't know, what did you say it was, like a polygon shape on their foot?
Yeah.
And you could kind of sense this. That's not what you really want, is it?
Yeah. That's the empathy. I can feel the barrier people put onto them.
What do I really want then? Do you feel with my tattoo? Do you think that's a legitimate tattoo, or do you think there's something which would suit me better?
No, I think it's amazing.
Okay.
I actually think it's amazing. I'll need to find more about you to know how to do it, but it's actually it's like a click in my head. I need to sleep over it, and I need to sit down and think of it, and it comes to me. I don't know how to say it. It's a funny thing.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Have you got any like interesting people who've really stuck in mind who you've tattooed over the last? How long have you been tattooing for?
And I'm in the studio, like professional tattooing, for 2 years and a half, and before that I was tattooing at home for 2 or 3 years, but not so often.
Is there anybody who stands out of clients in that time?
There's a lot of people that stands out, a lot of positive people, a lot of women that are amazing, a lot of fathers. I actually tattoo on the scale of age from actually 19, 20 to 55. And lately a lot of older people come to me because they feel I've got something, I don't know. And I had a lot of fairy godmothers in my life, a lot of successful people that was helping me to grow. Yeah. And they're also supportive, and it's amazing when you get support from people, and I tattoo a lot of amazing people. I don't know why, but I think I'm like drawn to them.
Can you tell me about one of these fairy godmothers? What did they teach you, or what something you've learned?
Actually, when I was 17, I got into one dance challenge that was held by Simobil, actually A1, and I was one of the 5 winners from 600 people.
Wow. And
it was amazing to me because I never felt I could do that. And one of the organizers was a friend that still works there, and she's amazing. She's like totally introverted person that respects artists, that finds a good art and then push it, and that's how she also helped a lot of bands, Slovenian, a lot of artists, and she was organizing a lot of things, and she was always supportive. She would, when I was on college and I wouldn't have money, she would call me because they had an event, and she always found something cool for the event. So for 1 year on the Christmas party, I painted masks, and she put an amazing payment to it, and she would buy me stuff to draw for 500 euros or 600 euros, and she said, yeah, you can keep it, we don't need it, and stuff like that. Actually, subtitle, thanks. And
cool, so just people like this, people who have been like these very beautiful individuals who've had an impact on your life in some way.
And I get to know them myself.
What does that mean?
Nobody showed them to me. I got myself into that situation.
How does this happen?
I think it's because I was broke when I was younger, and I wanted to work. I wanted to do a lot of things. So I have a lot of crazy experiences in my life, and that's the thing that defines me. People that usually talked with me in the beginning, they because of my energy and stuff like that, they feel She's a basic beep.
You can swear. It's a
I
basic
can,
bitch. You
I
probably
can, because
Fuck it.
because my sister said, try to not use words like, and try not to swear because you can say beautiful stuff. And I haven't watched series a long
No, you swear
time.
as much as you want. Swear as much as you want.
That's amazing.
And use
I don't want to be a basic bitch.
Hey,
Yay!
you did it. Okay, so you don't want to be a basic bitch.
Yeah, and then when they get to know me, when we have a conversation, they're usually impressed because I'm so I want to know everything. I'm interested in stuff, and I know a lot of things. And I studied industrial design, and that is also a lot of things combined together.
Why do you feel like people think you're a basic bitch? What is it about you? Which
I think it's my presence because I look really I have a high self-esteem, and I look like I think I'm pretty, and I actually don't think I'm pretty. All of the people around me think that. I'm actually into work all the time, so I can see myself. I put the first clothes I see into my wardrobe, and I go strictly to work because that is so not important to me.
Okay, so people kind of see you, you're pretty, you're kind of...
I think it's also because I like to talk to people. I don't have a barrier when I go to people and talk, and that is because I fighted my fears.
Yeah.
5 years ago, I would not pick up the phone and call my doctor. I was like, oh, can somebody call my doctor? And
tell me about that change. How did that change happen?
I have no idea.
No?
No, I tried to get rid of my fears because I was looking to people and they all felt like they cannot do stuff. They put their own barriers into their life, and I said I don't want to be that person. I want to go around and search for it. I want to search for everything, and I was always so enthusiastic about it. I wanted everything as soon as possible, and what I'm teaching myself in life is it's okay, Anna, you have whole life instead of you. Sometimes it's not good if you get to know everything so quick, because what will you do when you're 50? It's a funny story. We were at Čateške Toplice with my friends. He's turning 50 now and she's 40 something. We were drinking wine and I was complaining that I don't feel like partying, I just want to drink wine. And he said, Anna, you're 25, what are you going to do when you'll be 50? And I said, I don't know. Probably join some Buddha club.
Probably.
Yeah.
It could be worse. So where does this come from then? Lots of us are experiencing it right now, right? This like desire to kind of achieve everything right now. Why are we feeling this? Why are we feeling this desire to have everything right now, and this impatience about achieving things in time, if that makes sense?
I think because everything is on the internet, and you can see 16-year-old girls that looks like 25 because it's in their reach, and they can see how you can be. So they grow faster, but they don't experience faster. And people are usually feeling like they want to be something they're not. You don't feel like you're good enough because everybody is, wow, I did that, and nobody is posting stuff that they don't like, or they do super depressive posts, and you're like, I will not read this. So yeah, it's about being the best.
It's true, and like
you need to stand out nowadays. Nowadays, it's not good enough if you finish your college like it was before, and it's usually hard for parents to understand it, because my parents are still saying, Anna, do that diploma, and I'm like, how come? I'm doing 14 hours of work each day. I cannot. I will when I will take my time, but I don't feel like it in the moment. And they think, yeah, but if something goes wrong, you will get the job. I never got a job with my school. I always got a job with my experiences, with my capabilities, with my personality.
Definitely.
It's like that.
Definitely.
It's not the same old world anymore.
Definitely.
You need to stand out to be good to people, to get a job, to get connections.
Yeah, and like one of the things we said earlier was about influences, right? Like the influences nowadays cause a lot of I don't know, stress and anxiety, because before it used to be celebrities, and the distance between you, normal you, and like the celebrity was huge. It
was amazing.
It was crazy. It's like, oh well, these guys are great, they're my heroes, but I could probably never be one. And now influencers are just like a few steps towards us, yet they probably have more power than celebrities do, and each of us probably feels even more restless now that we're like, I could be an influencer, but I'm not. Like, I suck. I need to
And the
post
terrible
more.
thing is half of it is fake.
Sure it is.
That is the sad part about it, because it's all about the online world, about the social network work, and all of the actually all of the influencers I met, Slovenia or something like that, they have zero experience, zero empathy, and they do that just to be popular. It's actually about the popularity. It's not
Sure.
it's not about helping people.
Definitely. I've met one or two influencers, like some worldwide ones too, and one in particular, I was really, really unimpressed. Like, it was all fake. The
Usually-
whole setup was fake.
Yeah. Usually the most crazy and the most cool people are the introverts, because they're so intelligent. They feel depressed. Once one teacher said to me that all of the great artists were depressed. And I can feel that now. I don't know how will I feel in 10 years. I'm searching for the positive moments in my life.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to say two things, but make sure... I'm going to ask you about this, okay? So make sure you remind me to ask you about this being depressed. But the other thing I'm going to say is it's really... I've mentioned this speech I did last Friday. The whole crux, the whole part of that speech was basically this. Like, I read a book recently called Reasons to Stay Alive, and one of the things they said in this book, it was an account of one guy who had depression and anxiety, and how he kind of went from having this almost suicidal moment to kind of living a functional, beautiful, creative life. And one of the things they said in this book, which was amazing, which has touched me, it was that so often in life we see these successful people, particularly creative, and we say, oh, so and so was famous and successful despite their mental illness. I don't know, let's say, J.K. Rowling was successful despite her depression. These things you've done, these beautiful creative things, it's about creativity in some way, these beautiful creative things, it's not despite, it's because. Sometimes the fact that you're in these kind of depressive or anxious moments, it gives you a very unique perspective on life. And it's from that very unique perspective that you can draw these or create these very unique perspectives which lots of people connect with, right?
Exactly. When you're happy, everything is good, you know? Everything gets perfect and you don't search for nothing when everything is good. The best thing comes out of pain or out of other people's lives.
Tell me how that impacts you. How does you mentioned depression or building things from these depressive moments? Can you think about how that's influenced your own life in some way?
It's actually quite funny because I don't know in which phase I am right now. I feel like I'm in the middle of everything because I have a life to live in Zagreb. I have a life to live here. I have 3 months booked in ahead of people, and I feel like I'm just rushing toward it. I'm not feeling it enough. But when I lay down, I'm like, I'm super happy. I do what I want. I just need to organize myself. And depression is usually because the environment is changing, and it's always going to change. You just need to adapt yourself to it, and you need to find positive people around you. Because I was in one phase that everybody was so depressed. I cannot do this, I cannot do that, I don't find a job, my boyfriend is cheating on me, and it's the the bad thing about this, that you can't see it. You don't see how depressed you are. You don't see the solution because of that. The best thing is, first, you surround yourself with people that are really positive, that are helping you, and sometimes you just need some kind of push from the friends or from the family or from someone that you trust.
Yeah. So how have you done that? How have you kind of surrounded yourself with beautiful people who are inspiring you?
Actually, I'm in the process of doing that because I work too much. But I've learned this in the past year because I was trying so hard to make a successful business, and it happened to me by the night. I went to Switzerland. I was tattooing, but I was scared I would not have next month filled. Yeah. And when I came home from the Switzerland, I just go crazy. and then I wanted to be good and help people, and everybody said I wanted to have tattoo before the summer, and I was like, yeah, I will sacrifice my only day in the whole month for you because you need a tattoo. And that was my lesson. Stop. You do not. You can do good tattoos. You cannot produce art if you're tired, if you're stressed. And when you're tired and stressed, the efficiency is missing, and you feel like you're working, but you don't do a lot. And it helps if you put your cell phone 3 meters away from you and actually think about it and be good with yourself and breathe. I'm listening to meditations all of the time because I forget how to breathe.
Yeah, it sounds so easy, right?
Yeah, it sounds so easy. That's the best thing. Yeah.
Tell me about creativity. Now, tattooing is quite a very creative thing, right? You've got human skin as a canvas, and then you're putting your own personal design on a human skin, which will last with them forever.
It depends. We're actually really trying to do custom designs because we want. Actually, I'm young, and I hope I will be like that until the rest of my life. But a lot of tattoo artists just copy paste the designs from the internet, and a lot of people are not. Familiar with the tattoo business. It's amazing how popular it became, but they don't know how to approach. They don't know how creative can we be, and they see a picture on the Pinterest, on the Google, and they want that because of the picture, not because of the tattoo.
Yeah.
And I really try to explain to everybody to sit down, to get to know them, and try to find the best alternative way to do a tattoo they want from that. Sometimes you cannot do that, and that's the easy part of our job because we only need to copy like designs that are most common on the internet, and they want it to be like that. Okay, that is the part of their life phase, and the part of their experience. But usually I try to not convince them, but try to explain what are the possibilities, because they're not so artistic. They don't see it because this is my job. I don't want to be as smart as. I don't want them to be smaller than me. I don't want to be superior. I just want them to know what are the possibilities they can get.
Yeah, I understand. And so, have you always been creative? Has this always been something which has kind of been a part of your life, this ability to create things, or this desire to create things, shall I say?
Actually, I remember my family got me a small table with the barvice, or how is it called?
Colours, paints.
Yeah, on the side, and I was sitting on the balcony and drawing, and that's how it started. I always loved handcrafted stuff, and I love sculpturing, I love industrial design, I love glass, I love wood, I love everything that is that I can touch.
What is it about that? What do you like about this kind of these things, these items, these materials, and what you can do with them?
That's an interesting question. I don't know. I feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
It actually, when you're younger, you don't feel so much pressure from the people. Nowadays, it's really hard to move into your own space and do something that is good and that you like, and you don't think while drawing, are other tattoo artists is going to like this? Is this person that I'm drawing for is going to like this? Usually when I tattoo my friends, it's the hardest thing because I will watch my art until the rest of my life, I hope, and it's hard to be objective about it. And I don't know. I love creating. I love drawing. I wanted to be a singer. Then I found out I don't have the voice for it, and then I became a dancer. I love expressing and I love impressing, I think.
Expressing, impressing.
Yeah.
And poetry too.
Yeah.
And what does that mean then? Impressing. In fact, explain both of these things. You like expressing yourself and impressing yourself.
Yeah.
Define what that means for you.
Expressing, like putting things out of me. I actually became a good dancer when I quit dancing, because that was the part of my life I was most happy with myself. I didn't feel the pressure anymore to be the best, and I want to impress other people, how to say that, I want to show them it's not everything about themselves, but about other people too. And I don't know. That's it.
Cool. What does it mean? Like, what does success mean for you? What do you hope? You're 25 now. What do you hope? Let's say you've got another 50, 80 years ahead. Actually, 80. You'd be pretty old at 80 years ahead.
If I survive 27, I'm good enough.
Yeah, you think you might be part of the 27 club? Oh shit! Actually, I've got a year to go there.
Yeah, you do.
Oh shit! Okay, well, let's say we both survive the 27 club. Hopefully, we will. What hopes do you have for the future? Like, what would be a successful life for you? Or not? Again, we use this word success, right? Fuck
you mean success as business success or happy life for me?
Whatever that means for you. Whatever it would be to live a good life, what would that look like? At least from your perspective today, what would a good life look like?
I think the only thing that I'm searching for is to be happy in the moment that I'm in. I'm not trying to mess my head with the next and next and next. I want to enjoy the moment. Of course, I have some goals. I want to be a really good tattoo artist. I want to travel as much as I can. I actually started to learn bass guitar because my boyfriend is an amazing bass player. I just want to search for the greater truth. It's really...
What does that mean?
I don't know. I would love to explore other cultures. I want to know how it's in other people's skin.
Sure.
It's going to be funny when I will listen to this after 10 years, maybe being on the other side of the planet. I have no idea, really. I want to live a happy life. And happy for me is relaxed, as less stressful as it gets. I don't like the big city rush, and I want to get rid of the fear. That's also a thing. Yeah.
What are you afraid of today?
Now, right now, I'm afraid that I will not.
You're afraid of this podcast. You're like, shit. What do I say now?
Oh yeah, it's terrible. I'm afraid that maybe I will not be able to move to Zagreb as quick as I've planned, but I'm trying to accept this and say it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
I wish to have my own shop manager. Actually, because I don't have my own shop, I want to have my personal assistant.
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 You want your personal existence as well.
Existence.
Too, right? You want both
it's
of these
so
things.
hard. Yeah. And I want her to have a job and to help me because it's going to be amazing when we start.
Yeah.
So it's combining two different countries. It's only 140 kilometers, but it is 140 kilometers. Yeah. Actually, on Saturday, 2 clients are coming from Trieste, and I'm quite happy about it.
So you're like global, or no, you're European.
Not global yet, not global yet. Actually, in summer, one Australian guy is coming.
Really? See, I'm British, therefore you're like...
Yeah!
All over the place,
Woo! No, it's just about making people happy and having enough bread on the table.
Just bread.
Yeah.
What else? I mean, I was going to ask you something else. What is it something you're struggling with right now? I guess this is something you're struggling with.
Yeah, I feel like I'm with one foot on one country and with the other on another. But that is the lesson that I'm taking right now. That not everything is coming like this, and everything takes time.
It took me a long time to learn this. Really, like I was so desperate to kind of have everything now, to be successful now, to be doing the life I love now.
With pressure.
Without realizing that. I mean, again, I think it's partly because it's easy to have a perfect life in the future. Because then you don't have anything to do right now for it, really. Yeah. You're like, oh yeah, well, I can be upset now. Now can be shit. I don't have to enjoy now because now in the future it's going to be really good. But,
and it's a good thing because you learned how to get out of that train.
Yeah, and now now is all you've got, right? Like literally our whole life is a matter of nows. Yeah. And if now sucks, then your whole life sucks.
I usually ask a lot of people 2 questions. One of them is, if you would have 5 teleports, what would you do?
5 teleports?
5 teleports.
It's very specific, but okay, cool.
Yeah. And usually they reply, you can see how how put in box people are
Sure.
by that question, because not one guy didn't reply because he was searching for the parametry, for the parameters,
Yeah.
like in which space, in which time, and I said,
Doesn't matter.
yeah, it doesn't matter. Where would you go? And usually people say, I would travel to India, I would travel to Africa, whatever. And I said, you can do that. What is holding you back? And they're like, but. I said, you can do that. What would you do if you don't have the possibility to do it? For me, I would actually take my boyfriend to another planet and got one animal and go back, probably, because I think it's a good thing if you can share experiences with your loved ones or with your friends and stuff like that. It's actually also a good thing to travel alone, but I don't have the guts to do it alone, to go to another planet. Not yet, maybe in...
Another planet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a long way to go alone, right?
Yeah, but you have a teleport. And the second question is, what would you do if you have no limits? What would be your dream job? And usually people don't know how to answer that too, because they have a lot of barriers. Usually they reply with the best position from their job now.
Sure.
So if you're doing coffees, they would say, I would be a manager of this club. And I was like, is that really what you want? That's amazing, because I wanted to be a hairdresser, and if the things wouldn't turn out for me like they did, I probably would be the best hairdresser I could.
Yeah.
And they're so that is a lot of things, like complexes, experiences, fear, jealousy, mostly, and people don't live their lives.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is a difficult question for people, because we're all struggling with this question, right?
Plus, they want to impress you, because
Sure.
you ask them, and all of them are they do not think
how
about.
can I come up with a really smart answer? I want to be a brain surgeon. Do you study medicine?
Yeah,
no, actually.
yeah.
But no, the thing is, it's a very difficult question, because we're all struggling with this huge question, like, what the fuck am I doing here, and why am I here, right?
But it's a good mirror, because sometimes to show them it's not all about what it is right now. Steve Jobs is an amazing guy for me. He was the guy that first think of something, and then he learned the way how to do it. And that is how the brainstorming should look like. That is how all of the intelligent people are made of. You need to see it from another perspective.
Yeah, I've got two questions. I don't use them very often, but I've got two questions I also like.
Yeah, you do have two questions.
They're kind of linked though. Like, the two questions for me are, what would you do if you were going to live forever? What would you want to do every single day? And the second question is, what would you do if you're going to die tomorrow? And what you should do with your life is where these two things meet, right? Because if you're going to die tomorrow, you could just say, oh, you want to go to the craziest, most badass party ever. Maybe that's what you want to do.
That's such a sad question, because you can see how people don't live their lives.
It's a very powerful question.
Yeah, it is.
Because,
it is.
like, again, my answer might change, I think, but...
I think I would become a vampire if I would be living
How would you
forever.
okay, logistically, how would you do this? How
I
would you
have no idea.
become-
I have no
You
idea.
just, like,
I would
sharpen
do
your
fangs at the dentist. I told
Start
you I'm a
drinking-
witch. You have no idea what I'm capable of.
Start drinking blood. I should probably worry a little bit, I think.
Nah.
You're gonna be like
No,
putting needles in me soon.
I'm a positive witch. I'm not a negative witch.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you're gonna be a vampire if everything works out
Nah,
okay.
the vampire is the first thing that comes to my mind, because vampires should live forever. I have no idea what I would do. I have no idea what am I doing with my life right now, and that's okay.
That is okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about something. What are you most proud of?
I'm proud of myself. Sometimes I remember when I look at my timeline or stuff like, wow, I did that, and wow, I did that. Oh, I forgot, because my memory is amazing. I forgot things so quick. Not forgot about them, but I don't get to feel them on the regular basis. And I'm actually proud that I'm a powerful person that is fighting all the time.
Strong, independent woman.
Yeah, thug life. No. I break down and I need people and I'm like, oh, I can't do this anymore. I have a podcast and I don't know what I will say.
I've been part of your crisis this week.
yeah, I know. I was actually really enthusiastic about it. I'm proud on a lot of things. How I came from the family that wasn't rich. We had food on the table, of course, but it's a good thing. I need to learn everything by myself, and that's the best school you can give to your child. I had colleagues in the high school that mama was a surgeon and papa was a lawyer, and he had 400 euros, like pocket money each month, and me and Martin didn't have enough money to buy 2 coffees, and we bought 1 coffee.
Wow.
And that was the best experience. I think the best experience is when you don't have any money and you need to learn other things, but not being comfortable in your skin. So I'm proud of fighting my own fears. I'm proud of actually a lot of things. I forget about them, and I feel like when I look on the tattooers on the Instagram, I'm like, oh, when will I be that good? And then I see bad tattoos, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And then I see the next good tattoo, I'm like, oh my god, I have such a long way to go. I'm a shit. I don't do nothing good. I will quit tattooing. It's actually a fight.
Yeah. I mean, it actually brings us back to what you said earlier. Earlier on you said that with tattooing, there's no end point.
Yeah,
there's no perfection. There's no, I am the best tattoo artist. Yeah. And actually, for a long time, this was something which I struggled with because I was desperate to kind of become. I didn't know what I wanted to become, right? So, I had the plan to learn as much about people as possible, to learn what success meant, to learn what happiness, and like this has no end point either. And for a long time, this was like, what the fuck? How could I even do this? Like, it used to stress me out. And so then I started kind of going towards. In fact, I got really obsessed with coffee for about a year, learning all about coffee because I felt like it had an end point. I felt like coffee, I
have an amazing coffee maker at our place.
Yeah, what do you have?
I will.
Okay, later.
I will.
But basically, I lost myself in coffee for a while. And then it taught me, coffee's got you can become an expert in coffee. You can know a lot about coffee. But now I kind of, I don't know, I got more at peace with life and I got more at peace with this just never being perfect. And now this career I've got, like basically I want How to Be Human to become my career one day. And this thing there's no end point. There's no, I know what it's like to be human now. There's not going to be a book which tells you how it's like to be a human.
Of course.
And it's beautiful. I love that. It's kind of opened up life to be this pure exploration of what it's like to be human. It's
amazing because you find yourself in exploring, and that's the best thing if you ask me. I would do that if I wouldn't be tattooing.
I think you'd make it, I think in another life you could also be a How to Be Human person because you mentioned a few things today like I'm empathetic, I like to speak to people.
Maybe when I'm more organized I will do other projects.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. You could
maybe I will become your partner someday.
You could be like my professional tattoo. We could just tattoo humans and everybody. Okay, we'll start thinking about coming to the end. Is there anything specific you'd like to mention or anything important or Anna which you haven't mentioned yet which you think is important?
I don't know. I feel like everybody should live the best of their lives, and if they just want to talk, they know where can find me. And I have a good saying that it's actually in Croatian, that one of a really famous person once said to me, either if you're a shit or if you're a human. And that's the most important thing. You should be human. With all of your bad sides, with all of your good sides, you should love yourself.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true, right? Like, you've got one life.
Yeah.
You can't...
YOLO!
YOLO! Exactly. You can't change this, right? You've got one chance for this whole life thing. And you've got the chance to either, wake up every morning thinking, oh, this thing's fucking shit. I've got another.
Actually, it is like that, yeah.
You got another 60 years left of this shit.
I never understood that. My mother and my sister, when you wake them up, it's like, oh, leave me alone, everything is bad. And me and my father like, oh, it's a beautiful day, let's drink some coffee. Why would you destroy your day before you wake up?
Yeah, where does this come from? Why? Because I'm kind of optimistic most of the time too. Why are we so optimistic? What's with this?
I have no idea.
No,
I really
right?
don't. I think it's part of the personality, part of the environment, and part of the family. But I think that defines you as not as a horoscope, but as a soul that's inside of you.
Yeah.
And that's the thing we as a human race don't understand.
Cool. We're gonna stop there. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for this conversation. And yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Thank you so much.
To be human.
Hey there, human. If you enjoyed this week's episode, please jump over to iTunes to leave a rating and review. The reason is it really helps other people to discover this show as well, and helps spread these stories even further. If you're enjoying this project, if you're enjoying How to Be Human, then jump over to the Facebook page too. There are lots of stories going out there every week. There's a lot more to come as well. Lots more stories, lots more new projects. So yeah, it's going to be a busy few months for How to Be Human. Otherwise, I wish you guys a great week. I'll be back next week with another episode and another human being on the How to Be Human podcast. So have fun, enjoy, and I'll speak to you next week.